Well guys, the Dreams and Nightmares case is finally here, and today I want to talk about how it could absolutely tank one specific item on the CSGO market and possibly triple your money at the same time. Also, I'll be doing a case opening of these sometime in the next few days, hopefully tomorrow, or at least when they're not $22 a pop. But either way, if you enjoy this video, as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, check out my sponsor, Skinport. Skinport is a CSGO marketplace where you can find any skin you want for absurdly less than the Steam market. If you're looking for a sick Deagle skin, right now there's a print stream listed for only $44 on Skinport, while they're going to cost you almost $60 on the Steam market. Not to mention, this Deagle is quite a few bucks cheaper than the last sales on Skinport, so a really good deal, and you'll probably make money with it whenever you decide to sell it as a play skin for real money. Good deals like this are really easy to find on Skinport. Like, it took me less than a minute to find this Deagle. So if you're looking to invest, buy play skins, a new knife, whatever it may be sure to check out Skinport with that link at the top of the description. But for now, let's get right into the video. So first of all, most importantly, let's talk about what knives are in the Dreams and Nightmares case, because that's going to determine a lot of things. And not too surprisingly, we see the same knives that were in Operation Riptide cases, or I should probably say are in Operation Riptide cases because they're still in the game. According to Valve, at least for another month, but knowing them, that could turn into half a year easily. But either way, this is really good and somewhat bad for a couple of reasons. First of all, let's start with the somewhat bad news. Because we see these same knives reused with Riptide cases, we're probably going to see Riptide cases fall off significantly in price. They've already seen a dip to about 49 cents from 53 in just the first couple of hours of being released, and I think we can definitely hit lower lows. And I don't just mean it's going to happen in a few days time and we're going to come bounce back and hit higher highs. This is probably going to be a few month-long ordeal. If you guys watched my earlier videos on the operation, which a lot of people did, so I hope everybody remembered this, but I said that this would happen. We would see a case eventually released, whether it was with Dreams and Nightmares or with the case after it with the exact same knives as Riptide. And if we compare it to how Broken Fang cases fell off in price when the Snakebite case was released, we saw the downtrend for an extended period of time. Which makes sense, because why pay 50, 60, 70, whatever cents for an old Operation case when you can get a new case that's a drop in game as well for just pennies in a few weeks when hundreds of thousands of players are receiving them as drops and there's hundreds of thousands on the market. So that's the bad news, but it's not really that bad news, and I'll tell you why. The good news, and actually the great news, is that if you remember my videos from just a few weeks ago talking about the huge potential with the Broken Fang case, now that we've seen a huge bounce back in price, over 2.5xing since the lows we saw when Operation Riptide was released. But as you could see by the Broken Fang case trend, after the Snakebite case was released on May 3rd, it was a pretty strenuous few months after June when all CSGO items were spiking in price, but after that whole hype died down, we saw this thing just decrease month after month after month until Operation Riptide got released, and then we saw one final price dip. And I say it was one final price dip, but it was actually a pretty absurd one. It was massive. 43 cents to 33 cents in just a day's time when Riptide got released, which is like a 25% drop. But either way, after that, it slowly but surely climbed back up to price peaks of 83 cents, and looks like it could go even higher. And I think we're going to see the exact same thing happen with Riptide cases. We saw almost 3 million Riptide cases unboxed in December. We saw incredibly similar numbers with Broken Fang cases being unboxed in March to April of 2021, the month before Broken Fang ended, so a really similar time period. I'm not just pulling out the first month of Broken Fang. This is an incredibly similar time period, and even then, there was 29 million cases unboxed back then. And in December, with the Riptide cases, there was only 18 million total cases unboxed. So I think the Riptide cases are just way more promising, seem to have way more hype behind them even when there's less players in the game, and just overall have better knives as well. Like, in my opinion, a lot more players are going to want the knives in Riptide cases compared to the, I mean, let's be honest, kind of bad gloves that Broken Fang and Snakebite cases have. So because of this, the best way to profit from the Dreams and Nightmares case being released is actually buying Riptide cases. But don't get me wrong, you don't want to buy them yet. this should just be the beginning of riptide cases slowly falling off in price. It's a bit more weird this time around because riptide cases are still in game and broken fang cases weren't when snakebite cases were released. Snakebite cases were released right when Operation Broken Fang ended, but either way, I think Valve used the logic of, hey, we released the final week 16 missions a few weeks ago at this point. Everyone has probably spent their stars already, or the vast majority of them have been spent at least, and there won't be nearly as many people buying cases, so it really shouldn't affect the market too much. So for me, as I said earlier in the video, riptide cases should still hit their lowest point when a new operation gets released. The entire market crashes and we see huge drop-offs in price in every item. We'll see that happen with riptide cases. Hopefully they'll be around a similar range with the broken fang cases and where they were when riptide got released, around that 33-cent mark, but I mean, I can't guarantee that. It's very well, they could hit like 30 cents, they could hit 20 cents, since I mean the next operation may very well be farther out. They could be in the 40-cent range. Who knows? But either way, at that time point when the new operation gets released, I'm definitely going to be buying in and holding for at least a few months time, then selling these things maybe on the Steam market, maybe on Skimport, for hopefully either way over double what I bought them for, maybe more. Depending on how high we see broken fang cases get, I might hold on to riptide cases for longer. But either way, using that money to buy some liquid items to sell like Doppler knives, Op Asimovs on the Steam market, stuff like that if you do keep it in your Steam wallet, and then going and selling those on a third-party site like Skimport, buy yourself a nice little Lamborghini private jet, all that casual stuff, the usual. But seriously, I really have good hopes for the riptide case because of this. If we see the number of them unboxed stay consistently in the multi-millions, high 900,000s, or just low 1 millions like we saw with broken fang cases, and you could check that with cases unboxed in the months leading up to now, I really don't see why we won't, because the knives in this case are really sought after. We should see this price increase again. The only real thing we have to worry about is when is the next operation going to be released? Is Valve going to stay on this same schedule of releasing them a few months apart from each other, or are we going to have an extended dry period? And if that's the case, then we might be able to invest in riptide cases a bit earlier than when the new operation gets released and we see that final dip, because we might have already hit new lows by then. But who really knows? That's something we're going to have to see how the trend performs long term over these upcoming months, and if they hit a really low range that you think is a comfortable point to buy, as we've seen with the broken fang cases, these things could touch like the 85-cent range just a few months after that new operation gets released. So don't be afraid to buy it. Even if you make a bit less money because of it, you should hopefully still be doubling your money. But overall, that is just my outlook for riptide cases and how I think they're going to perform in the next few months, and how Dreams and Nightmares cases should affect their price. So besides that, as always, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. As always, if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course check out the homies over at Skimport to start saving a ton of money buying CSGO skins, investing, all that good stuff. And hey, you could even flip cases really easily for cash on there as well, like the glove case, broken fang case, and hopefully the riptide case in the future. So be sure to sign up with that link at the top of the description. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.